Welcome back to another 90 Day Fiancé recap. Let's talk about their brand new show called Hunt for Love. Now, I don't know how they came up with Hunt for Love. I feel like it had nothing to do with hunting. So it should have been more like Love on the Island or Love on the Beach or I don't know, something like the Hunt for Love. I don't know. I thought that was a little mismatched. Now, I was kind of wondering how I wanted to talk about the show. I feel like it would be more fun to discuss, have a conversation. So this video might be a little chaotic, but just stay with me and have some patience. And let's get into the recap / discussion. So first, let's talk about who's here. Okay, from the 90 Day cast. For the women, we have Tiffany, Chantel, Jenifer, and Courtney. And for the men, we have Colt, Usman, Tim, and Rob. So let me first share a little bit of my initial quick thoughts after watching the entire episode. So Colt, I felt a little bad for him because he was like the only big guy out of the entire cast. And he was sweating so much, y'all. You saw his back sweat. It looked like somebody dumped water on him, like a big bucket of water. He was sweating that much. And I could relate because as a big bitch, I sweat a ton. Now, I gotta say, ever since losing a little bit of weight, I sweat less. But I've been to Mexico at 200 pounds, and it is not fun. Tulum in the summer is so hot and humid. You're just constantly in very thick, hot, humid air. When I wore makeup in Tulum, it would just immediately melt off. I don't know how these women are putting on makeup and having it stay. They must be wearing waterproof. I don't think my foundation was waterproof, but they're also not sweating as much as I did. So that's probably why, but I felt so bad for him because I know how he feels like, oh my God, everybody's so fit and hot and not sweating like I am because I've been him in many social situations. So I don't know, maybe I'm just projecting my own insecurities and my own problems onto him, but that's just kind of how I felt. Now, Tim, I'm surprised to say that I actually like him. I thought he was very funny. He made me laugh my ass off in so many scenes, especially during the Between the Sheets episode. Usman was looking rough. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. He was cutesy when he was with Kimbali, but then him out in the wild with other people his own age, he's not so cute and he's not so funny. Cute meaning not his looks, I meant his personality because he used to crack me up, but he's so cringe on this season. And then we have Rob. Damn, he looked good. Okay, I'm not even gonna lie. He did look real good. And he definitely has his way with the ladies, okay? I saw him flirt, and he's a good flirt, okay? I'll give him that. I almost forgot what an asshole he is. Now on to the women. Jenifer is so pretty. She's so fine, but damn, she's so fucking mean. She is so, she's nasty mean. Do you guys remember the brunette Little Mermaid when Ursula was pretending to be a Little Mermaid and she had dark hair and she was evil? That's what Jenifer reminds me of. Courtney, I love her. I would be friends with her in real life. I love her and I've been trying to do her accent and the way she speaks, but I haven't nailed it yet. I need to practice a little bit more. Chantel. Now everybody's talking about how different she looks. Well, to me, she looks the same because I follow her on social media. So all her gradual changes I've been through. So it's not really a big shocker to me. But if you haven't seen her in a while, then yes, I'm pretty sure it was whoa, who's Chantel? What happened to her? I think she got a lot of work done, but I don't think it looks bad. I don't think she's overdone. I think she looks fine. Her boobs are ginormous. They are so humongo. I could not stop staring at them. I was like, damn. Personality-wise, I feel like she's going through something. I think her personality dimmed down a lot after her divorce. Actually, I don't really know what her personality... No, she was kind of always the same, but she was a little snarkier and she was a little quicker. But after her divorce with, what's his name? Pedro... I feel like she lost her spark a bit. She lost her confidence. She looks confused. She looks lost. And later on, we find out why. It kind of makes sense because we find out later in the episode that she's bi-curious. Tiffany looks amazing. She lost 110 pounds. I feel so happy for her that she got her confidence back. She was married to a horrible, disgusting man. I would say that he is even bigger of an asshole than Rob.
I'm doing the things that I need to do.
Do the hard things, Ron.
Like what? Change iPad. No, that's your job.
I covered that season. I don't know if it's still up. I might have taken it down, but wow, Ronald was so bad. He was so terrible. But yeah, I'm so happy for Tiffany. But there was a time where I was so mad at her and I was so frustrated with her for staying with Ronald for as long as he did, especially she has such a sweet boy son, Daniel. Like I still love him and he's still the sweet little boy that he always was. So we need to protect Daniel at all costs. And I'm just so glad that Tiffany finally broke up with that loser. Now let's talk about the format of the show. Initially, I didn't know that they were going to mix in regular people. We're going to call them the normies, okay? Normies I'm referring to as non-90 Day cast members. I don't know if I like having the normies there. I feel like the producers didn't utilize the normies as well as they could have. Does that make sense? They just kind of seemed like background character, like extras on a set. And I felt bad for them. Honestly, I felt so bad for them. They were all so hot. They looked so great. They were all looking like they were ready for Temptation Island. They were Temptation Island, Love Island, Bachelor in Paradise. What's that other one? Too Hot to Handle, Level Hot. And then there were 90 Day cast members. And I'm not saying that they're not good looking. Like, it's just a different type. You know, they're just more like everyday normal people. I think if they want to bring in normies next time, they need to utilize them better. But overall, I love this concept where they take singles. So instead of the single life, because the single life was getting kind of boring. And honestly, I just want to see more of this. They could even have like a Big Brother type show too. So it doesn't have to be about love. It could be about 90 Day cast members competing for money or something. Oh, that would be so fun. Like a trader's version of 90 Day Fiancé or a Big Brother or some kind of money competition show. Oh, that would be so fun. Okay, I am just so into 90 Day Fiancé. By the way, I found out on Instagram that this show, like the spinoff, they had a special premiere and they invited a bunch of podcasters. All the podcasters that I listen to and am a huge fan of, Reality Gaze. Reality Cray Cray wasn't there, but it could be because they're anonymous and they're faceless. Little Miss Recap, Docu Sweeties, Pink Shade, they were all there. And the girl who does the 90 Day Fiancé impressions, Reality Rocks, was there too. That was so cool to see everybody, like the podcasters and the content creators in one room. But 90 Day Fiancé and TLC, where was my invite? I would have shown up in an inflatable potato costume, okay? So I would appreciate an invite next time, TLC, if you are watching. Thank you. All right, now with my initial thoughts out of the way, let's get into the recap. Chantel says that she's been duty dating, which is basically dating even though you don't want to, and you're basically throwing spaghetti at a wall to see what sticks. But that sounds exhausting. Like, why would anyone want to do that? Like, I can't even imagine. But some people like to date and meet people. They're extroverted, and I'm not. Not that this is about me anyway, but, you know, I always have to make this show about me.
I never in a million years imagined that this is where I would be. I thought I'd have kids. I thought I'd have a husband. I was married, for crying out loud, and I never expected for that to end.
Tiffany refers to herself as super single because she hasn't dated in over a year. Like, oh my God, a whole ass year. I'm so super single. Girl, if you're super single, then I'm super single. Again, not about me, I know.
I got married, and it's also the biggest Never mind. I don't want to say mistake. Everything happens for a reason. I learned a lot through that.
The first two people at the resort are Chantel and Tiffany, and they're so excited to meet each other. I thought it was so cute. I love this energy. Then we get Rob. Yeah, Rob. Y'all know how I feel about him. He looked good though, okay? I'm not gonna lie. He looked good. And there was a resort coordinator named Johanna, and she approached him and gave him a mask and a masquerade party invite. And he was like, damn, she's hot. And he thought she was one of the cast members, but she wasn't. Then we see Usman, who is a superstar soja boy.
And I have my advantage because, I'm African. You know, we have it here. We, it's big.
He was saying how like so many women throw themselves at me, but like not for me as Usman. They just want me for Soulja Boy and they just like take advantage of me and leave. No. Like, I don't believe it because one, he's not that famous. I'm sorry.
Also, women throw themselves at me because I'm superstar soldier boy all the way from Africa. I feel like women are not coming to me as for me, Usman. They're just coming for the soldier boy.
But what I have to give him credit for is he straight up said that he better not see Big Ed or Angela because he's not down for that kind of drama. And I was like, yes, period. Chantel, Tiffany, Usman, and Rob get to the Masquerade party and there's a bunch of normies there and everybody's wearing masks. So they don't recognize each other at all until we hear, hey guys, yeah, I'm just wearing this mask. Tim.
I do not want to die alone is one of my biggest fears. So I know obviously the clock is ticking. I'm in my mid-40s and I know I need to go ahead and get back out there.
Everybody can recognize Tim's voice a mile away and his mask is one of the funnier masks because it is all covered and he looks like Chewbacca. So you really couldn't see his face, but you could recognize him through his voice. And how funny is it that he says the first thing that he notices, because you know how we all have something that we first notice about the opposite sex or the gender that we are attracted to. The first thing he notices is not legs, not eyes, not an ass, hair. Yeah, he likes super, super, super long hair. So long that it's down to her butt. So long that if the girl were to sit, she could sit on her hair. And we find out in the Between the Sheets episode, which made me die because this example was so specific. So you know it's happened to him and you know he really freaking likes it. He said he loves long hair because when the girl is riding him, the end of her hair tickles his balls. Yeah. Then we have Courtney, and a lot of people think she's dumb when they first meet her, but that's okay because she uses that to her advantage.
Whatever I've been doing has not been working, so I'm open to the professional help. I need it. Basically, like, don't cheat on me or lie to me and, like, pay my bills.
We find out that she hooked up with Soulja Boy. What the hell? They were in Turkey together and they had a vacation fling for like a month. What the hell? So she thought something was going to happen from this, but she never heard from him again.
I started falling for him. I stayed the night at his hotel a few times. I thought we could be the perfect couple. But once we left and went home, he just completely like stopped talking to me.
I'm like, damn, Courtney, you hooked up with Usman? I just would have never seen that. I don't know why. I would have just never seen that. Then Jenifer walks in with a tight red dress. She has long flowy hair and she catches Rob's eye. So everyone lines up and then they take their masks off. And of course, immediately every single person in the 90-Day universe recognize each other. And they're squealing and they're saying hi. They're excited. They're like, oh my God, Tiffany, Chantel, Tim, oh my God, you're here, blah, 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 blah. And then the normies are so confused because they don't know each other. They don't know anyone. And they're like, what the fuck is going on? They're like, how come some people know each other? And how come all the cameras are following them? Like, can you imagine how they felt? They probably thought they were signing up for a Temptation Island or a Love Island or one of the hot Netflix shows. And instead, they're with a bunch of normal people that they don't understand how they all know each other and why the cameras are following them and not the hot people. That's literally what one of them said.
Hi, Rob.
Yeah. That's a few of us, yeah. And they'll start to see this group of guys and girls who knew each other. It's about some TV show. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
And I also love the fact that nobody knew who the 90-Day cast members were. They were like, who are these people? Like, what? They must know each other from, some kind of show? Okay, what kind of show is that? Tim and Jenifer notice each other, of course.
You gotta be kidding me, man.
This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, this is gonna blast.
And Rob is super attracted to Jenifer, but he had no idea that she was in the 90-Day universe. He's like, oh my God, she's that hot and I never knew of her?
My focus went towards this mystery Latina in the red dress. Everybody seems to know who she is, and I'm like shook because I'm like, what the She's one of the 90-day people?
And she's Tim's ex? How the hell did Tim get her? Is what Rob said, okay? It didn't come from me, although we were all thinking it. I didn't know this, but Tiffany and Tim are apparently great friends. And then they do a flashback of Jesse and Jenifer when they were dating, and oh my God, they really were perfect for each other, weren't they?
I told you, and you say, okay, then let everybody think that I'm gay.
I gave you money, bought you. You shouldn't utter one bad word about me ever.
You know what? You don't even deserve to be called a pussy because you love to act like a little bitch. Whoa.
The normies were so attractive. Jennifer is talking to one of the cute guys, and Tim is like, oh my God, I just want to talk to Jennifer, and you know, I don't want any bad blood. I don't want any weird tension. So he approaches her to hash things out, and she just kind of is like, oh, okay, Tim. Oh yeah, he's, you know, my ex, he's weird. And so then he's like, well, I just want to make sure we don't have any bad blood, okay? And Jennifer's like, yeah, whatever. I don't even want to look at you. I don't even want to be near you. I don't even want to talk to you, okay? Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye. Tim then sits next to Chantel, and they bond over gold-digging, visa-stealing whores. Actually, oh my God, it was actually so funny because Tim was like, Jennifer just used me. And Chantel goes, oh my God, I hate users. Oh, these users coming to America to steal the green card. I can't stand them. And he's like, oh, well, I don't know if he wanted a green card. I'm just saying she was using me for money. And then she's like, oh yeah, that too. Harvesting the American dollar.
The truth. She's a gold digger.
I hate gold diggers that come to the United States for a green card.
Well, I don't know if she was using me for a green card, but she definitely wasn't happy unless I was buying.
Yeah, okay, well, that's what I hate. I just hate for people to abuse the system.
Now, side note, Tim thought Chantel was so beautiful, so gorgeous, and he thought that she would be a bitch, but he reports that she is so, so nice, and he would do anything for her. Then Usman sits down with Courtney, and he acts like he doesn't know her. And she's so offended. She's like, why are you acting like you don't know who I am? And he's like, oh, well, I was just joking. I just want to know how you'd react. No. Jail.
You act like you didn't know me.
Oh my.
So you're gonna
God.
make up for it. You gotta, like, do more.
Tiffany is vibing with a guy named Rocky who has a porn stash. Rob is vibing with this tall, gorgeous girl named Elise who she says she's 31, but like she cannot be 31. No tea, no shade. She's gorgeous and she's got a banging body and she is the life of the party. I was so entertained by her. I know a lot of people are going to call her a sleut whore, but I was very entertained. She needs to be on another show. Like, put her on Netflix.
A lot of people know me as the wild, fun party girl. If I want something, I'm gonna go get it, and I'm not scared to get it.
She lays it on thick to Rob. She's like, I know you want to kiss me. Just kiss me. Just kiss me. Just kiss me. Kiss me. Kiss me. Kiss me. And he's like, oh, you're so tempting. Yeah, but like, I'm going to, hold off a little bit. And she's like, kiss me. Kiss me. Just do it. If you kiss me, I'll show you my ass. And I have a big, fat, juicy ass for a white girl. And he's like, oh, really? And she's like, yeah, but you got to kiss me and I'll show you my ass. So then they start making out. And then she stands up and she's like, yeah, I'm going to show you my big, fat, juicy ass. She pulls up her skirt, her dress. And it's like, wah, wah. I mean, she's got a nice ass, but damn, she hyped it up. And it was not big or juicy. Again, no tea, no shade. It was just, it is what it is. It's a great ass. But I mean, have you seen his ex? He was dating Sophie. He was married to Sophie. She had a big, juicy ass.
That is a very nice ass. That is great. I like it, the booty cheeks.
They're big. It's big butt, right?
Jenifer is talking to another guy named Cole, and the way she looks at these guys, I don't know if it's just her face structure. Her face card is insane. She's really stunning, and she's a great flirt. She flirts with her eyes, and she like knows how to smile. She's very coy, but she's so mean. Like the way she was roasting Tim, it was just unnecessary. Okay, it was too much. And he was trying to be nice. That's the thing. He came with open arms, with an olive branch, and she just kept shutting him down over and over again. She's just mean. She's nasty. Then Chantel and Usman talk, and Chantel does what he did to Courtney. And I was living for it because it bothered the hell out of Usman. He was so triggered by this. Chantel was like, hi, nice to meet you. Who are you? And he goes, you don't know who I am? Come on, Chantel, you know who I am. And she's like, no, can you remind me? And he was like, you know Jamal? You know Kimbali? And she's like, oh, yeah. And he's like, come on, Chantel, I can't believe you didn't know who I was. Like, what the hell is that? Like, come on, Chantel, you know me. You know me. Don't you remember me?
But you don't know me? For real, be honest.
I don't know you. Who are you?
Why, Chantel? You know me. You don't know Kimbali? You don't know Jamal?
Oh my God. Okay. I told you that I don't know anybody until I meet them in person. I've never met you in my life.
No, we don't need to talk.
No,
I don't want to talk.
I know you don't want to
Honestly,
talk,
I
but
don't.
you can listen.
Now, she doesn't like Usman because she's read all over the internet that he's a user. He uses people for the green card. And we know Chantel and her family hate that. So the night's over. Tiffany, Chantel, Courtney, and Colty go into Tiffany's room. They start gossiping, and then Usman and Tim join. Tim and Chantel start talking shit again about these gold-digging, U.S. citizen wanting, green card stealing immigrants and blah, blah. Now, Tim is triggered because Jenifer kept shutting him down and being mean for no reason when he was trying to make amends. So he starts talking shit about her. And he was like, you know what, Jenifer? Oh my God, I spent so much money on her and she just wanted more and more. And then he made a really weird, off-putting comment about how they act like they can't eat or something. What the fuck was that? That was ill.
Like, I spent tons of money.
When you start sending money back,
But you know how it is. They make you feel like they're gonna not eat.
Some of the things that come out of his mouth really make me want to... Apparently, Colty bonded with a woman named May, but we didn't get to see any of that. Like, where were the cameras? I would have loved to see Colty try to flirt and make a connection. And someone made a joke, I can't believe which one, but they were like, oh, so she must have a high sex drive like you. Because remember, Colty said in the car when he was dating Vanessa that he wants to have sex like 7 times a day. Who has time for that? Now, the only downside to May, even though he likes her, is she's a vegan and he loves his meat. And honestly, some people who aren't really into food might think that's not a big deal, but I, as a certified professional potato foodie, that is very important. I could never date a vegan because I love food. I love eating and I love enjoying my meal, going out to eat, going to different restaurants and trying new food and the same food. Like, I just love food and I love to eat. That if my partner didn't like to eat a lot of the food, like, no, that wouldn't work for me. So I totally understand what Colt was trying to say. So Colt likes May, Tiffany likes Rocky, Tim doesn't like anyone, per usual. And then Tim spills the beans about Usman crushing on Chantel. Yeah, Usman wanted to try to hit that. He thought that he would have a chance, but she shut him down real fast. Chantel was like, you're a scammer. And he's like, why are you calling me a scammer? Just because I'm from Africa, I'm a scammer? And she's like, no, you're a scammer because you date older women, BGL and Kimbali, so you could get a green card. So the next morning, Rob and Usman are having breakfast.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
¿Cómo están, chicos?
How you doing?
Good morning.
Did you have a good night?
Yeah, you look nice today.
How are you?
Thank you. You look good too.
So after she joins, Usman tells her that Tim was talking a bunch of shit about her and how she always wanted money from him and she was using him for his money. And she was like, no, that's total bullshit. I never needed money. I mean, yeah, he would send me gifts or money on his own. I never asked for it. I never expected it. I've always supported myself. So she doesn't understand why he keeps spreading the narrative that she's a gold digger and that she demanded money when she didn't. So then, because she's mad that he's talking crap, she wants to talk crap about him. It's a cycle that never ends. So she heavily implies that he's gay and that he's a freak. Like, he never wanted to have schmex with her. And the only time he got turned on was when they went to a strip club and he bought her a lap dance from one of the male strippers. So it was a strip club with male strippers. And first she thought it was weird. Like, why would we want to go to male strippers? Like, whatever. And so he bought a lap dance for her from a stripper and he got so turned on. So she was like, yeah, he's a freak. He likes that. He wants to watch me do stuff with other men. And like, not to kink shame, but there is a thing called voyeurism. Like maybe Tim is a voyeur. I don't know.
Wait, you went to a men's strip club?
Yeah.
Stop.
And he was very excited about it. But like,
That was the most excited you saw him?
Oh, yeah, he was so excited. He said that with his ex-girlfriends, he loved to go to swingers.
Then a bunch of guys are in the van and the normies are in the back and the 90 Day cast member males are in the front and they're talking about the whole situation. And I think one of the guys was like, oh, Jenifer is so hot. And Tim was like, oh, my ex. And they're all shook. They're like, yo, you dated her? Like, what? And he's like, yeah, she's my ex. And they're like, oh, weird. How'd you get her? Rob finds out that Elise came to this resort before and had Anal there. Okay, and he seemed so caught off guard because he was like, what? Well, where'd you guys get this information? And they were like, oh, she was telling everybody. She was telling everybody that she came to this exact resort before a year ago and had Anal for the very first time. And you can see Rob actively regretting making out with her the other night. Because, you know, he kind of has that thing where it's like, Tim has this too. I'm sure they're bonding over this right now. But like, you know, women are whores, but men can't be whores. Like they can get around, but women can't. So he's probably thinking, oh, Elise is a whore. I shouldn't have made out with her because she's icky. They have a little speed dating sesh in the hot tubs and they all have to switch hot tubs every 2 minutes. And wow. Some of these conversations were painful. I mean, surprisingly, Rob does the best, in my opinion. He was actually a very good conversationalist. He was very natural. He went with the flow. I was shook. And honestly, if I didn't know who he was, like his relationship with Sophie, I would have fell for him. I would have been like, ooh, he is fine. Oh my God. Yeah. So anyway, Chantel. Oh my God. She was on a date with a guy named Chris. He asks her, so what would your ex say about you? And she completely crashes. She was like, he would say, where's my money? Where's my money? Where's my money? Where's my money? I'm like, Chantel, what the freak are you doing?
Where's my money?
What do
You took my money.
Did you take his money?
I took my money out of the bank account that we...
Okay.
She was having a conversation by herself, essentially. And when the 2 minutes was over, Chris was so glad. He was so relieved. He got out of that hot tub and he literally said that felt like 2 hours.
That was a long 2 minutes.
I don't know how to flirt. It can get a little awkward.
Tim and Jenifer start bickering again, and they are filling in the normies about their past. And I swear to God, the normies do not care. They don't give a fuck. They still don't understand why they're on the show. They're like, how come no one is filming us? Why are we here? Courtney thinks her strongest connection is with Usman. Oh, girl, no! Colty is sweating like crazy. His entire back is wet. Did anybody watch The Ultimatum? Because Edwin reminds me so much of JR. They could be brothers, no? Like he's so cute, but his personality is so bad. When Chantel and Edwin were in the hot tub together, I don't know how they carried a conversation. Well, they didn't. Actually, Chantel carried their conversation. That's how bad he is. He doesn't know how to talk. He doesn't know how to do anything. It was just dead air, crickets, nothing. I was like, oh my God, I'd want to drown myself if I was in that hot tub with him.
You are like such a fit body. I think about a little red tattoo all the time, but I don't have it.
No?
Guess I'm too chicken.
Then Chantel shares how she's feeling confused because she was hanging out with her best friend named Ashley, and one night they were drinking. The drinks were flowing, the vibes were vibing, the coochies were tingling, and Ashley confessed to her that she had feelings for her, and then they kissed. And Chantel kissed a girl and she liked it. So Chantel was like, what does this mean? Do I like her? Do I like women now? Am I a lesbian? She was very confused. So I understand why she's like not really knowing what to do, how to act. I think she likes her friend. I think her friend is on her mind this entire resort, and that's why she can't really like bond with anyone, and she's just starting drama. And that's what I think. Honestly, I could see Chantel with a woman. I mean, there was one time where I was like, am I gay? Because I haven't liked a guy in so long. I'm like, am I gay? But I just couldn't imagine going anywhere near the cooter. I was like, no. And with that, the episode ends. I want to quickly go over Between the Sheets. I watched the episode in the background and I took a few notes, so let's go over it. Tim thinks Rob is very beautiful. Chantel has a very long list for musts for men, but I wonder if her list for women is shorter. I feel like they need to ask her for her list for women and then her list for men and then compare the two. Courtney says Usman called her the night before they got to Tulum. They have been in constant communication. How dare he act like he doesn't know who she is? I would be so mad. I would be so offended. I'd be like, how dare you? The normies say Jenifer is absolutely gorgeous and stunning. And I was like, that must be so nice. Like, how does it feel to be so beautiful that you can just get away with a lot of stuff? To have pretty privilege, like I couldn't even imagine. That would be like a dream come true. If I could just be in a pretty body for one day and experience the privilege. I get ugly privilege. Men, leave me the fuck alone. Rob said he was in an awkward spot with Usman and Tim because he's besties with Jamal. And remember, Jamal and Tim had beef. And Jamal and Usman have beef because Usman dated Jamal's mother. The normies were confused as to why all the cameras were on 90 Day People because they looked so average compared to them. There's like a bunch of hot people, like beach ready. And then there's normal average looking people, and they were so confused like why all the cameras were with them and not the hotties. In one scene, Chantel asked Tim to be on the lookout for her cleavage, and then he was adjusting her shirt and he was like, wow, this is the most action I've gotten in a while. That was so funny. Tim is hilarious. We learned that Usman slid into Tiffany's DMs a long time ago, and he acted like he didn't know Tiffany either. This seems to be Usman's MO. Jenifer is being a nasty biatch again because she watches clips of Elise making out and like, you know, being a little thirsty. And she's like, Elise should play harder to get. Like, she's a beautiful girl. I mean, she can get whatever guy she wants. I don't know why she's so desperate. And it just like, you know, her desperation and her sluttiness takes away her beauty. And I'm like, shut up. Who cares? Why should she play hard to get? She's on the beach for 2 weeks, okay, with other hot men. If she wants to hook up with someone, she can. I will never subscribe to that sentiment because people will never say that about a man when they hook up with girls. No one said that about Rob, only Elise. So you can miss me with that. Elise imitates Tim. It was hilarious. Tim clarifies the no sex rumor with Jenifer. Basically, they were about to do it and his pee-pee was so close to insertion and she stopped him because they didn't have any wrappers. And she was like, do you have a wrapper? And he was like, what do you think I am? And no, I don't carry around wrappers. And she was like, well, the store is closed. I don't have any wrappers, so we can't do anything. And he was like, okay, I guess we're not gonna do it. And then they never did it or attempted to do it ever again after that. Oh, and he did have to include the part where she was giving him a blowy and she was so bad at it. Jenifer again implies Tim is gay. Tim doesn't care. He's not. And people are going to think whatever they want. So he just doesn't care. It only bothers him because people keep trying to say something that he's not. But like, whatever. Usman says Elise does not have a big booty. But then he's like, well, if she says she has a big booty, then yeah, fine. She has a big booty. Who's to say she doesn't have a big booty? But he likes big booties. Like big booties. Elise says that Rob was texting her all night that first night, and he talked about Sophie and the demise of their marriage, and he also told Elise not to Google him. He was like, please don't Google me, and please don't Google anything about me and Sophie because the media got it wrong. Everybody's hating on me, and they're making me out to look like the bad guy when I'm not. And then Elise was like, you know what? I'm going to give you a fair shot. So she didn't Google him. And once again, we learned Tim likes really long hair because it tickles his balls when they're on top riding him. Oh my God. And then towards the end, Tim and someone else, was it Rob? They were talking about peeing, like standing up versus sitting down. And Tim was talking about how as you get older, your balls sag so much. And Rob was like, so you can't pee while you're sitting? Like you can't aim? And he's like, no. And then he says, I want a 30-minute episode about dick holes. And I'm like, oh God, the joke's right itself. Well, that's it for this recap. What did you guys think of this episode? Did you watch it or did you not? Let me know down in the comments. A lot of people surprisingly didn't like it, but I'm a sucker for these types of love dating shows. I love when like a big franchise mixes cast members from different seasons and different spin-offs of the same show. I love it. I've been waiting for them to do something like this. I know Statler thinks that she thought of this whole entire idea, but I was thinking about it too. No tea, no shade. I'm excited to see what happens. I wonder if they're going to bring in new people. I don't think so. We didn't hear anything about like bringing in more people, kind of like Bachelor in Paradise does. Every week they bring in more people and they eliminate people. That would be really funny. Some people don't like this type of dating show where like you're on the beach in bikinis, hooking up with all different kinds of people, but I do. I love these types of shows. I love Love Island. By the way, are you guys going to watch USA Love Island premiering on June 3rd? Because I am. I will be watching. I don't think I'll be recapping. Actually, I thought about doing like one episode of recapping or talking about all the other shows that I watch, but they're just going to be quick 5-minute recaps, you know, and sharing my thoughts. And then that'll be all compiled into one video. I don't know, because oh my God, I posted about this new show that I've been watching on Netflix called Secret Millionaire or something like that. It is so good. If you enjoyed Traders, please watch that Secret Millionaire show on Netflix. It is so good. I'm on episode 3. I cannot wait for my sister to come home from work so that we can watch it together. And no, I will not be recapping it. I just want to enjoy that show. Another show that I've been enjoying is Love Hotel on Bravo. That is so fun if you're into the housewives, because I knew that show existed. And every week I was like, I saw the previews and I was like, nah, because I was getting so tired of the housewives. But I started it and it is so good. It's so good. It's so fun. I'm loving it. What else am I watching? Summer House, The Valley. By the way, I was going to cover The Valley. I don't know if any of you guys remember me mentioning it. I'm so glad I didn't because it is so boring. It was crazy the first 2 episodes, but then after Jax went to rehab, quote rehab, it is so boring. Like, I'm so glad I didn't cover it. Last night I was watching the episode, is it 6? I couldn't pay attention. Like, I was fully tuning out. It was so boring. And what else? I think that's it. I know I watch a lot of TV. I do. But I'm a homebody. I'm an introvert and I have no friends. And TV is my passion. So sue me. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for joining me and hanging out with me. And I will talk to you in the next one. Bye!
Ain't it obvious? I just got the check for the positive. $750 for the sound wave to get it processed. Won't stop till that shit weighing down my pockets. My main thing's to my main thing. She a blossom. When she ease the pain with the brain, she a doctor. She open up anything thicker than the plot gets. Swear that shit is awesome. Sight for the optics. Young nigga on